Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Niles, and I'm here with my very first video. This video is also special because it's an Instagram collaboration. What kind of a collaboration, you ask? An Animal Crossing one, I answer. Animal Crossing is one of my favorite games, and with New Horizons releasing next year, what better time to make a doll of my favorite villager, Rosie? You can also see all of these other lovely people's dolls over on Instagram. Before we get started, I'd like to side note that for whatever reason, I had a lot of technical difficulties with footage being corrupted, so I apologize for any skips. I'll fill it in with an explanation. For this doll, I'll be using Persephone. No, don't worry, not you. The one I'll be using is from the Wheel and Werecats line. Let's start the custom. So as you can see, I've already cut the hair off of this doll. Just take some small, sharp scissors and whack those gluey locks off as close to the head as you can get. Then, using 100% acetone, take a cotton pad and remove the factory paint. She's looking a bit messy now, isn't she? Use a Q-tip to scoop the remaining paint away. You can also just use Q-tips. I'm not really sure why I always use cotton pads first. Make sure to squeeze her head to get all of that paint out in the corners of her lips. Now she's all clean. Now to rid her of her buzz cut. Take some hot water and fully submerge your doll's head. This softens the vinyl and allows you to tug it off without damaging the neck peg. Now to remove the paint on her head. I was struggling between making a wig and rerouting her, so I took it off just in case. Nice clean head. Because I'm going to paint her, I wasn't too worried about it being the neatest job. Setting that aside, I'm going to be blushing her joints. Because acrylic paint is so prone to chipping in these areas, I'm trying to prevent any super noticeable color shifts. Between each new coat of pastels, I'm giving her a spray of Mr. SuperClear. Truthfully, I only did a couple of coats just to protect the joints. If you're going to be using this method, be aware that it could take upwards of 8 coats. She's got a decent enough coating for me. I would have shown you how I painted her body, but sadly I lost that footage too. Just cut your paint with water to lessen the appearance of brush strokes. This only took me 2 coats. Now, using Duraclear matte varnish, cut that with water too and add a layer or 2 to seal the paint. Now, put her in an awkward position to dry. We can move on to painting her face to match. I'm going over it with a second layer to really make it opaque. Looking good, Persephone! Here's the yarn I decided on for Rosie's hair. I grabbed the blue I think will be the closest, and... hey, it's a match! Again, using a thin layer, cover her noggin along the guideline of outer plugs. Set her aside with her body to dry. Now, stab her head onto the end of a pencil that died long ago, and we're ready for the face-up. Now, I know what you're thinking. Niles, that face-up's already halfway done. And to that I say, you're so right. Unfortunately, I lost all of that footage too. Talk about technical difficulties, huh? In essence, I've taken watercolor pencils and drawn all of the outlines of how I'd like her face to be, sealing with Mr. SuperClear every time I can't build more color. If you're interested to know, I chose these plum colored eyes because that's what color they are in her anime rendition. Thicken her lash line and define the pupils. Once you've gotten what you can from the watercolor and pastels, it's time for acrylics. Finishing touches and...
I know, I've got to do that.
So yeah, that sucked. At least the left side of her face was fine, but that was still so discouraging. After a weekend vacation away, I decided that I didn't really like her face anyway, so taking some acetone again, remove it as you did the factory paint. paint over the exposed area and let's try again. Honestly, I prefer this Faceup much more to the previous, so I guess that paint pen kinda saved me. Repeat the same steps as before. Build your colors, push your values. Keep your pencils sharp to get clean lashes. Yeah, much better! After going over in acrylics, finally add the eye shines and a little bit of highlighting around her pupil. She looks so much prettier now. Add some cute blush and our Faceup is finished! Taking some Liquitex High Gloss Varnish, add a bit of life to her eyes and lips. I'm not going to go too into detail about the clothes, mostly because I couldn't film any of my sewing machine. I used Dollightful standard dress pattern. I also found this fabric that was super close to Rosie's actual dress at Walmart. I considered painting it to replicate the game, but once I was finished I couldn't bring myself to do it. Now for some hair, don't you think? Taking that same yarn from earlier, I cut 12-inch long strips, fold them in half, and loop them around a coat hanger. Then, taking a pet brush, brush the yarn until there's no tangles left. Set a straightener to a medium heat and use it on the yarn. Mozekido says it's best to press it hard and pull slowly, and I find that's true. She is pretty much a goddess of yarn wigs, after all. With those done, let's put her head back on. As I was trying to be careful as I could handling her head, unfortunately the paint peeled. Rosie really gave me a hard time. Just scratch the peeled paint off and paint over it again. Since I'd already glossed her eyes and lips, I was really careful spraying her again with MSC. As the deadline closed in for the collab, my original idea to show you my wig cap making method proved to be too time consuming, so I just opted to glue the yarn straight on. I'm starting in a spiral pattern around her head. Carefully glue around the ears, utilizing gluing the yarn backwards and folding it over to create a clean part. After looking at her game design again, I noticed I forgot to paint her ears. Whoops. At first I considered a pixie cut for her because of her model in the game, but I really have a weakness for A-line bobs. If you noticed, that's actually the haircut I've got, just with different bangs. Let's put her all together! What do you think about the design I did for Rosie? Let me know in the comments down below. Even though she gave me so much trouble, I really think Rosie turned out beautiful. What do you say, Rosie? Want to join me for more videos? Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!
Employees of the aquarium, right? Not me. Alright, kids, stand back. Here we go. Did my hands just creak as it was turning?